Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jay Van Smith. I'm the executive producer of the Right Now TV show. And today we are honored to have RMEA, Mrs. Carly Duncan, a senior partner of the agency and our broadcast. But before we bring her on, I'd like to share a little insight with the Right Now TV show. We empower youth, seniors, Americans with disabilities, those who with special needs and who are physically challenged, and veterans. Right Now TV is a division of IMI Montana, involved in advocacy, intervention, referral, employment, job placement, fair housing, and supportive services. Again, my name is Jay Van Smith. I'm the executive producer, and I would just like to also share with you some insight. The Missoula MCAT, the logo that the brand that it's actually going through a transition. The logo that you were familiar with for some 27 years is being transformed to the Missoula Community Media Resource. The new logo, which is the new brand for the will no longer be MCAT, but Missoula's Community Media Resource. We thought we'd share that information with you. And again, happy birthday. The MCAT is, the MCAT is celebrating its 27th anniversary, and they're planning a party. The party is Friday, May the 5th at 121 West Main Street in beautiful downtown Missoula. And it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Downtown Dance Collective. Again, the MCAT would be hosting or celebrating its 27th anniversary birthday party. That would be Friday, May the 5th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Downtown Dance Collective. All are welcome. Beer, wine, festivities, they're also raffling a classic MCAT bike. You can win this classic bike by name. In order to enter, you must submit your name and email address, which is required to enter. Again, that would be raffled at the 27th birthday anniversary, and that would be again Friday, May the 5th, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Downtown Dance Collective, 121 West Main Street in beautiful downtown Missoula. This segment is being brought to you by the Missoula Copy Center, 2304 McDonald Avenue in Missoula, Montana, where the quality begins. Again, that's the Missoula Copy Center, 2304 McDonald Avenue. You can give them a call at 406-549-COPY or 549-2679. That's the Missoula Copy Center. And also I'd like to acknowledge the IMI Montana, which is a subsidiary of the parent company that I represent, IMI Tri-State Alliance, is committed and dedicated to serving Americans with disabilities, senior citizens, and veterans. And if you would like more information or would like to join the alliance, please feel free to write us at P.O. Box 17935, Missoula, Montana, 59808. That's IMI, Montana, at P.O. Box 17935, Missoula, Montana, 59808. We are a non-profit 501c3 public benefit corporation. All donations, contributions, and funding sources are tax deductible. Again, my name is Jay Van Smith. And without any further delay, I'd like to present, we are honored to present to you the distinguished partner of RMEA, Mrs. Carlene Duncan. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is Right Now TV. Tell us about, ma'am, if you would, tell us about RMEA.
So Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency was founded back in 2012 by Casey Pobran, and we are what you call in the industry a mother agency. And that means that it is our primary job to represent talent here locally in Montana, statewide, and eventually get them signed in larger markets like LA, New York, or Miami, where they can pursue their dreams and actually make a full-time career out of modeling, acting, singing, whatever it is their passion for.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Modeling. Tell us, what is modeling?
So, there's a lot of stereotypes and myths that typically surround the modeling industry, that you have to be tall to be a model, you have to be a size 0 to be a model, and one of our primary goals is to kind of bust through those myths and just instill body confidence and self-confidence within all the talent that we work with. And we can see within the industry that's been a large push to be accepting of all shapes and sizes, and that's really what RMEA loves to support, is self-confidence and body confidence within the industry as well.
Excellent. I was curious. I happen to have an older brother who happens to be an international fashion designer.
Wow.
And a master tailor. And he's always. I've never seen him without an entourage of models. I just couldn't quite connect the dot. But I see now. I see the correlation. Mm-hmm. But again, and I concur. There is a myth about tall, because most models that you do that I've encountered have been very beautiful and tall in stature and in character. And well, if you will, tell us the founder. When was this? When was RMEA established?
So Casey Pobran, she's originally from the Southern California area. Her and her husband moved up to Montana a few years ago. She founded the company back in 2012. She really had no plans to do that. She was kind of hoping to get out of the industry. She's actually a former model. She was represented by Ford Models. And for a long time, she actually lived with Eileen Ford, the founder of Ford Models, with her in New York when she was first getting started in her modeling career. So she has decades of experience, and she's kind of brought all of that experience to Montana, where we don't have a lot of opportunity or a lot of people that have that type of experience within the industry to share. And so she's founded RMEA and has been sharing her experience and helping others pursue their passion since then.
It's wonderful. I'm impressed. And you indicated that she is currently the crown queen of. She currently wears the title of crown queen of Mrs. Montana.
She is. Casey competed for Mrs. Montana back in June last year, so she is our current reigning Mrs. Montana right now, so a great representative of our state. And she actually was a Miss Teen USA California back in the day too, so she definitely kind of has her hands in all facets of the industry, whether it be pageants, modeling, acting, whatever it may be.
Kudos to Mrs. to Mrs. Pobran. Is it Pope? Pobin?
Pobran.
Pobran.
Yes.
Well, Casey. Right. Yeah, reigning queen. And how long will she be the reigning queen? Crown Miss Montana.
She will be our Mrs. Montana until June. That's when she'll pass it on to the next lovely Mrs. Montana, whoever wins the title.
And now, would this be, is this done through a pageantry contestant?
It is. It's done through a pageant system.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe it's under the Mrs. America system. So
Okay.
for any married young ladies out there that would love to compete, it's a great experience for you all.
Super. Excellent. Wow. Well, and you indicated that RMEA is a full-service modeling agency. Would you explain that to us again, ma'am?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do get requests for work here locally within the state. Not very often though. So Montana, there really isn't a large market for modeling or acting. You definitely do get those jobs that come through where you may book the work, but if you really want to make this a full-time career where you can make a full-time living to support a family, the reality of it is you will have to move to a larger market, whether that be LA, New York, or Miami. And you will have
What
to
about
start
Chicago?
looking there. Chicago's a secondary market. It's
Hey.
definitely growing. With any market, when you first relocate, you most likely are going to have to work a regular job for a while. Nobody's famous overnight.
That's true. Yeah, it's a
it's
work
just
in
your
progress.
hard work and persistence that's going to pay off. But Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, San Francisco, San Diego, those are all known as secondary markets within the industry. They are growing, but you may still have to work another job within those markets as well.
Interesting. And well, give us your contact information. Where are you located?
So our office is
Talk to us.
located in Polson, but we do represent talent statewide, and as well as talent in other states as well. But you can always reach us through our website and submit to us online at www.rm-ea.com, or you can email Casey or I with your information to Casey, CASEY, at rm-ea.com, or you can email me as well at Carlee, Karlee, at rm-ea.com as well.
Extraordinary. And you say did you mention that? What is the age? What is your age limit?
So we don't have an age limit. That's kind of the wonderful thing about the industry, whether it be modeling or acting. The lifestyle division in modeling is growing. I think the oldest on our roster is 65 right now. So
Super.
we represent talents of all ages, whether it be kids, teens, adults. However, again, the work comes through and we do try and get you those jobs, but we do try and push our talent to those larger markets so that they can be successful and hopefully make a full-time career out of their passion.
And for those aspiring talented young individuals, do you distinct? Is it just primarily for the female gender, or do you work with male models, or does it encompass everyone? Or talk to me.
We try and encompass everybody. We do host a lot of workshops throughout the year, so we do
Excellent.
travel to different areas of the state for those who can't come all the way to Polson to visit with us. We know Montana is a very large state, so we try to travel around and host a workshop at least once a month in a different city, whether it be Missoula. We've been to Billings in January. We were just in Bozeman a few weeks ago. And we host what we call our Modeling 101 workshops, where we just try and teach you the reality of the industry and what you're getting yourself into when you do decide to pursue that type of dream. We do have our acting workshop coming up. We do host a few of those throughout the year as well for those aspiring actors out there. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I understand you do a summer camp. Tell me about that. What's
Yes,
going
so
on there?
every year we do
Sounds like
host-
fun.
Oh, it's a ton of fun. Every year we do host a few summer camps on the Flathead Lake. We do have a private boat charter, so he takes us out on the lake and we do photo shoots out on the lake. We also bring in our underwater photographer.
Excellent.
She actually does live in the state of Montana, but she's been ranked under the top 10 underwater photographers in the world. So her name is Jenna Martin. She's absolutely wonderful. So we do an underwater shoot on Flathead Lake. So it's a little chilly,
Wonderful.
but it's a ton of fun, and you just get a lot of great shots for your portfolio.
Yes.
And you get to have some summer fun on the Flathead. We have a private chef that cooks all of our healthy meals. So
Wonderful.
it's a great experience for anybody who wants to come in and join us. It starts 12 and up, but we do day drop-ins for some of those younger girls or younger kids that aren't quite ready to stay the night away from mom and dad yet.
That's
either.
amazing. That's amazing. And I'm hopeful that you all could forward us a copy of your calendar of events.
Yeah,
So that we
absolutely.
can post that along with the on the green screen for the broadcast, and Pat and also assimilate that information to other producers here at the studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, if you would if Ms. Carly, give us your contact information over at RMEA.
Yes, so you can always find us online, whether it be Facebook under Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency. We do have a website that you can go check us out at. It's www.rm-ea.com. Or you can email Casey or I with any questions you might have about getting involved with us. We do love to see new faces. And you can email Casey at Casey, C-A-S-E-Y, at rm-ea.com. Or you can email myself at Carlee, Karlee, at rm-ea.com as well.
Do you have a slogan or a slogan?
We just kind of go by our slogan, I guess, if I'd have to pin it down, is we would feel it's kind of along the lines of a road to success when
Yes.
working with us. We try and give you all the tools necessary to be successful, give you a realistic expectation of what the industry is before you decide to make the jump into it. It is a great industry, but you do want to have real expectations when going into it of what you're getting yourself into. So we try and do whatever we can to see that our talent is successful.
And I might add, looking good. Because you all look look marvelous. Again, we are honored to have Mrs. Carlee Duncan, who is a senior partner at RMEA as our guest on the Right Now TV show. They're RMEA is a full service modeling agency. They are and it was founded by Mrs. Casey Pobran.
Brand, yep.
Forgive me, Casey. Mrs. Casey Pobran, who happens to be also be the current reigning crowned Miss Montana. And we kudos to you for that honor. Do you have how would one qualify or apply for the pageantry admission or entry, or how is that done?
Yeah, so with any pageant, even whether it be the Miss USA or Miss America, or in Casey's scenario, the Mrs. Montana pageant, you can contact Casey directly and she can get you in contact with the director, so the email that I mentioned earlier, or you can always find them on Facebook as well, and you can get all registered to compete in Mrs. Montana upcoming here in June.
Fabulous. Well, we got to get you in. I'm going to talk to a couple of the other producers here at the studio. Mr. Scott Remf happened to be the distinguished technical director here, and he's also the producer of the morning show.
Okay.
I'm going to see about pulling some strings to get you guys booked on that show.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, so yeah, we look forward to that.
Perfect.
Okay, I mean it's an early bird. It's what we call a red eye, but
Yeah.
but you get all of Montana.
Okay.
all of Missoula, the
Perfect.
best of Missoula.
Perfect.
Again, we are delighted to have from our MEA, Mrs. Carly Duncan, senior partner, and representing the Full Service Modeling Agency, which is actually known as Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency.
Correct. Yes.
It's a world-class agency for kids, from all ages, kids from 10 to
we represent some
80,
babies
10
sometimes.
to 110.
Yep.
There's no limit. And I believe you indicated it was for men. It doesn't matter if you're a male, a guy or a gal.
Correct. Yep.
Right there, they have the forward, the skill, and the propensity to make it happen. If you've got the time, they have the skills, and they have the means of taking you to the next level. And Brock and modeling, acting,
Correct.
as also
As well.
as well as preparing you and helping you build a marketable portfolio.
Correct.
For your presentation to the industry. Again, if you will, ma'am, I'd like to leave you with a final thought, an appeal to the viewing audience here in Missoula, Montana. Mrs. Carly, and if you would.
Yes, any aspiring models, actors, singers, musicians, or any talent out there that is looking to make a full-time career or get involved within the entertainment industry, we would be more than happy to help you out. You can go ahead and, again, submit to us directly online. We do host a variety of workshops throughout the year, as well as summer camps, and we do city tours as well. We are getting ready to take a group of our talent on an international convention where they do get the opportunity to audition in front of various casting directors and scouts. And then we are going to be going on to our New York City tour here in June as well, where we'll be taking a group of talent to New York City to be seen by various scouts acting.
Montanans?
Montanans, yes.
All right, Montanans in New York.
Yes, we do have
Wonderful.
several girls out there who are working and have been very successful out in New York, as well as a few down in LA. So
Excellent.
we're hoping that with the next batch we take, we'll have even more success stories out of it.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. A world-class modeling agency from a world-class partner. Again, we commend you all for the great work you've been doing since 2012 over at RMEA. And again, we want to thank you all for coming to the broadcast and keep us posted on current events so that we can continue to forward this to our viewing audience. And we would also like to urge you all, if you've got a grandchild, or if you have a child, or a baby that's got that look, or a son or a daughter, hey, contact RMEA. Give them that contact information again, Mrs. Duncan, please, before we leave the air.
Yes, absolutely. You can always find us and submit to us online through our website at www.rm-ea.com. You can find us on Facebook under Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency, or email Casey or I directly, and we can answer any questions or concerns that you might have. You can contact Casey at Casey, C-A-S-E-Y, at rm-ea.com, or myself, Carly, K-A-R-L-E-E, at rm-ea.com as well.
Excellent. I want to thank you again, Mrs. Carly, for appearing on the broadcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we wish you all continued success.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jay Van Smith. I'm the executive producer of the Right Now TV show. At Right Now TV show, we are a division of IMI Tri-State Alliance, Digital Satellite Broadcast Network team, empowering youth, seniors, the mentally and physically challenged, special needs, veterans, and those in uniform. We are, IMI Tri-State Alliance is actually the parent company of IMI Montana, which is predominantly involved in advocacy, intervention, referral, employment, job placement, publishing, fair housing, new construction, telecommunications, and supportive services. Our motto is we give new value, priority, and meaning to being made in the USA. And you can like us on Facebook, or you can write us at P.O. Box 17935, Missoula, Montana, 59808. It's 17935, Missoula, Montana, 59808. Or you can email me at josevansmith47@yahoo.com. If you know someone with talent, with skills, with an artist or a musician or a craftsperson, or if you just would like to come on the air and toot your horn, feel free to give me a call or to come down to the studio and ask to come on to the Right Now TV show. Today we are honored to have as our special guest the illustrious Mrs. Montana.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Mrs. Casey
Pobran.
And we are delighted. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. Again, happy to be here. It's exciting.
Tell us about it. How did you begin? I mean, tell us about your fabulous career.
Oh, well,
when did it start?
you know, I was really born into it. My mom was a model, and my dad is currently still a musician. And so when everything started and they finally got their baby girl, I think I was destined from birth to be in the industry one way or another. And my mom got me into pageants and modeling and everything from Carter's Clothing back in my first modeling job when I was only 2, all the way up until I started my family of my own and I was able to move up to Montana. So, I mean, it's been a long journey and I've loved every bit of it, and I'm very thankful to my parents because I have a love and compassion for such an amazing industry in the arts.
Well, that's marvelous.
Thank you.
And and shout out to Ma and Pa. How are they doing?
Mom and Dad are doing good. Mom is actually now a Montanan as well. She's She went into her other love of the culinary arts, and she's the executive chef up at the Raven in Woods Bay.
Fabulous.
Love it. It's one of our favorite places to go.
I've got to stop by there and visit her.
I'll never pass up a time for my mom to cook for me. And my dad is doing wonderful. He actually lives down in Arizona now with my grandmother. And my son, my oldest son, is actually living with him down there currently, but he's going to be coming home this summer, so I'm really excited to see him.
Marvelous, marvelous.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, tell us. I understand. You know, we were delighted to have your one of your partner, your senior partner, I believe.
Yep.
Mrs. Carly
Duncan,
yes, on the show. On the broadcast. How did that arrangement come about?
Well, Carly actually used to be a model for me. So I started Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency up here in Montana about 5 years ago. Actually, it was 5 years this month. It's our anniversary of starting. And Carly began with us as a model. And, you know, this industry is fascinating because you could be really great in front of the camera.
Yes, ma'am.
But at the same time, you start falling in love with the process of the behind the scenes and the whole business part of it.
Yes, ma'am.
And really, the time went by, and I recognized how much love and compassion that she had for the other models that we represented, and she really wanted to see their talent progress just as much as she wanted her own to. And so I had my eye on her for quite some time to actually come on the back end and start working with us in the agency. And now she's really she's an essential part of the business now. So I couldn't be more thankful for having her on board.
And what is the name of it again?
Carly Duncan and
No.
the agency?
Yes.
Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency.
Now, what do they do there?
So we manage, develop, and place our local Montana-based talent with agencies and large market agencies. So Los Angeles, New York, also Miami. We do international contracts. We've had models travel to Paris, Milan, Sydney, Australia, over to Asia. And it's really our goal to develop talent to get to the point where they have real working opportunities and they're casting for major casting directors and networks, and really getting that exposure and making their dream of being in the entertainment business a reality. There's not a lot of people in Montana don't really think that there's a lot of avenues, but really Montana is full of arts and culture. You know, just as an example of this
talent, yes,
there's so much
galore.
talent. When I moved up here, I had absolutely no idea. I didn't move up to Montana with my husband thinking that I was going to be in the industry anymore.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
moved out here to get away from city life because we were living in California. And I thought, you know, random tourists coming into Montana, they think everybody, you know, sews and makes huckleberry something. and I came out here and I was so...
It's another world.
Oh, it's perfect and it's beautiful and it's truly, you know, the last best place. And when I came out here, I realized not only how wonderful the people are, but how beautiful they are inside and out, and how much they were really just grasping the need and wanting that exposure of at least having those reliable and trustworthy resources that this industry really does have. But unfortunately, this industry definitely does not have the best reputation. So I'm happy to be able to provide good and reliable and trustworthy resources to our talent.
Fabulous. You know, on that note, I mean, do you prepare your talent for career in doing commercials?
Right. So
The TV production. Talk to me. What are some of the applications of where else? Yeah. What's the scope? Is the sky the limit?
the sky is definitely the limit. I mean, this industry there's a lot of different avenues that you can take. There's definitely modeling and fashion. There's acting. There's behind the scenes with television production. I absolutely love the entertainment management classes that the University of Montana is also putting forth, because that's helping so many kids. It really are.
Yes, ma'am.
And it really is such an individual journey for each person to come into this industry. We have girls and guys that we represent that come in, and some want to be a model, and there's industry standards of what their measurements need to be. But what people think of what their measurements need to be, it's all about how you market them. We have the curve division, we have lifestyle division, petite division, high fashion.
Full figure women. That's in
our
vogue.
curve. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And one of our top models right now is a curve girl. We have her signed with MSA in New York.
Okay.
She lives out there full time now. Comes home to Montana, and she's absolutely gorgeous, and it's all about body positivity, and everybody can be placed in this industry if you have a good person representing you and know how to market you.
So in essence, you build character and self-esteem.
They definitely come
And teach
with their,
them how to stand tall and represent.
Yep, they all come with their own character, believe me.
I'm sure.
But we really look for that confidence, and then we also have parents that get their children involved with our programs that need to also build confidence, and they want to be healthy, and being healthy is one of our most important things that we stand by. It's not about being a certain way. It's about being as healthy as you can be and being at your very best. And I think it's regardless of if they end up in this industry, long term, it's a good benefit regardless.
And I understand you all partner. Do you work? Or do you do charitable benefits and
We
partner with community organizations and nonprofits?
We absolutely love working with nonprofit organizations. There's so many people, especially in Montana, that have a love and compassion for people and their community. And we always encourage nonprofits to contact us, especially if they have somebody within their organization that has a dream and desire to be in the entertainment field. And they may not be able to, invest into their careers. And so we love working with those nonprofits and being able to touch base with them and be able to help those people that are involved within their network, the opportunity of success. It's all about having a love and compassion for others.
Yes, and giving back.
Absolutely. That's why I competed in Mrs. Montana.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. I understand that at Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency,
Got it.
you have there's a calendar of events. And we will. I mean, of course, if you could kind of just give us some highlights on some pointers on that.
So
essentially,
we do workshops and seminars throughout the entire state.
Yes, ma'am.
Every single month.
Right.
So we have our 101 workshops where we cover industry basics. There's a lot more to this industry than getting hair and makeup done and looking pretty in front of camera. There's actual business and understanding contracts and those types of things. So we cover that in the 101s along with a professional photo shoot, which we work with photographers all around the state of Montana. And then our 102s, which is our advanced movement workshops, which go a little bit more, they're more fun. We're trying to teach them more confidence in front of the camera and put more posing techniques for modeling. And then we also have our acting classes where we cover monologue, scene study, improv, really how to be confident in front of a casting room and in front of a casting scout, casting directors.
and on a set.
Yeah, on a set, just like this, right? And then we do some events outside of Montana.
Okay.
For example, we are getting ready to head off to our network convention. It's international. It's on a cruise ship, where we
Wonderful.
So twice a year we take our talent that we feel that is ready to present in front of our top casting directors and scouts, and they compete in these competitions on the cruise ship, which is a lot of fun. And families make it a family vacation. So we're getting ready to go to Mexico next month.
Oh, great.
Excited. And then-
Kudos to you.
Thank you. And then we're taking another group to New York in June.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I love New York.
Now, so how would one qualify to go to participate? How do you go? How would I get enrolled my seven? What is the age limit?
There is no age limit.
Okay.
We are actually just launching our kids division next month, which we're really excited about. And so we're not doing many babies because babies change like every single month. So keeping updated shots of them is a little bit more difficult. We are also, we represent kids from 6 right now all the way to the age of 73.
So you're pretty diverse.
Yes, and it's needed, especially because, our main job is to place our talent outside of Montana, but for them to always call Montana home.
Yes.
But what we are really doing, and our focus in 2017 and 2018 is growing the local market to where our talent can actually even stay in the state and be able to pursue their dreams as well. So we're always looking to partner up with local businesses, nonprofit organizations, that we can provide models for them, and they can build. The models can also build their professional resume while being at home here in Montana.
Actually get hands-on exposure and experience, because I think the key is exposure.
Exposure,
which helps build confidence.
Exactly, and I always
The
say
more you practice, the better you get.
exactly, and I always say experience is the best form of education
It
you
is.
can have. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Super. And also, I understand. Male. I mean, so do you work with? Let's say me. I mean, do you work with males
I do.
in
Yep,
the modeling industry?
I do. You know, it really.
What can you work with me?
I definitely could work with you, especially for some of the casting requests.
Oh, bless
that we
your
get.
heart.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, everybody, I think it's such a misconception that people think, oh, I'm not fit for the industry or I'm not right for the industry. It's just you have to be smart and know where you fit into the industry.
Got you.
It's not about a yes or a no, it's just about a where.
It's getting in where you fit in, huh?
Exactly, and don't expect the industry to change for you. You have to figure out where you fit in the business.
That's right. That makes sense. You know, I heard something similar to that before. You know, you don't ask what the country can do for you. You ask what you can do for the country.
Amen. Yep, you got it.
Well, listen. That's again, it's an honor. For those of you who just tuned in, we are honored. You're watching the Right Now TV show. We air Mondays at 6 p.m., channel 189, Charter Cable, and Saturdays at 5 p.m., channel 189, Charter Cable. You can also view us on demand by logging into MCAT.org, MCAT.org, channel 189. Search for Right Now TV, and you'll have, and there we have it. Again, we are honored and delighted to have as our special guest the illustrious Mrs. Montana.
Thank you.
Mrs.
Casey Pobran.
Casey
Pobran. Yeah.
Pobran. I see Mrs. Montana when I
Yeah,
see.
you
when
know,
I think
I
of you.
respond to many things. I
Yes,
respond to
bless your
mom. I
heart.
respond to Mrs. Montana. I respond to wife. You know.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Isn't she lovely?
Oh, thank you. I'm a husband.
And you know, do you have a thought that you would like to share with our young audience that's viewing and those aspirants who would like to maybe consider a career in modeling?
Yeah, you know, I think the most important part of pursuing this industry is knowing your love and passion for it and having that love and confidence for yourself, being confident in how you were made and you are perfect just the way that you are, and just knowing and getting involved with it in this industry. It's most important to really align yourself with trustworthy people that are going to build your confidence and that are really going to be there for you throughout your journey. It's not the same for every single person. I always get that question of how long is it going to take or what are the processes, and it's really different for everybody, which is why we offer many different opportunities between workshops, summer camps, and those types of things that people can partake in. And regardless, no matter how many no's that you hear, keep that passion going. And in this industry, it takes about 100 no's to get one yes. So don't let those no's discourage you. You know, those should build a fire underneath you to really go after and pursue your dreams.
I concur.
Yeah.
And there you have it, a genuine American success story.
Thank you.
You know, it would be the thrill of a lifetime for me to crown the queen.
Yeah, you want to put it in crown?
If I may.
Well, can you put it on? On me?
I
Or
would
can
love
I
to put it on you.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can put it on.
Is that how it's done? I mean,
Yeah.
I just would like to have this honor
So you
to
hold it.
bestow upon you.
Hold it like that.
Yes, ma'am. Oh,
You're not going to break it, I
okay.
promise. I've
Hold it
rubbed
like
it plenty
this.
of time.
Okay.
And then you just put it right on the middle.
Oh wow. Crowning. This is the coronation.
Wait,
Crowning
a
of
little
the
farther
queen.
back.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
And don't be afraid to hurt my head. You just got to stick the
my
combs in. And,
goodness.
yeah, there you go. Perfect.
This is my time. And there we have it. This is our reigning queen. Would you stand up for a moment?
Definitely stand up.
Reach your audience. Mrs. Casey Pobran, Mrs. Montana.
Happy to be here. Thanks
We
for
are
having me.
honored to have her as a guest on our broadcast, and my life would never be the same.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Again, for those who just tuned, what is your address? Where are you located? How do we reach you?
So if you're interested in contacting Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency, also known as RMEA, you can find us on the web at rm-ea.com. You can call us at 406-544-5186, or you can email me at casey@rm-ea.com.
Again, it's an honor to have you as our
Thank you
guest.
so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And we wish you all, you and Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency,
You got it.
the best of the best. Could you before we go off the air, if you could expound on the summer camp, how to those is it time? Is it too late for the kids to register?
No, actually, we have 3 summer camps that we're going to be doing in July.
Fabulous.
It's on the Flathead Lake.
Y'all tune in, pay attention.
Yep, and all of the details are on the website at
Okay.
rm-ea.com.
Yes, ma'am.
And we actually bring in professional photographers from outside of the state, along with working with in-state photographers, hair and makeup, and it's 4 days, 3 nights that we have for our girls. It is a girls' camp, but we do offer drop-in days for young men that want to come in, but they do need to have parental supervision when they come in.
Not a problem.
Yeah,
Not a
it's a lot of fun. We have such a great time. We go out on the lake and do all of the fun stuff, and then also get down to work and really build up those modeling books and portfolios.
Hey man, I'm honored. I have a 14-year-old. I'm sure she'll be watching this show. And again, it's a great honor to be able to crown the queen.
Oh, well, thank you.
We wish you continued success in your career going forward. Don't give up.
I won't.
You know,
I'm not going anywhere.
The sky's are the limit for you.
No, thank you.
And Mrs. Carly. She's great ambassador
Yes, she is.
for Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency.
Yep.
So if you got and you mentioned the ages again.
I work with all ages, really from 5 and 6 years all the way up to the oldest person I represent right now is a beautiful 72 years old.
Marvelous. That's incredible. And give us that information. What's your web page? How do you reach you again?
It's rm-ea.com.
rm-ea.com. And again, for those of you who just tuned, we would like to urge our young people to get involved and to feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
And hold your head up high.
Absolutely.
And be proud because you come from a long line of glory. This young lady here, our reigning queen, is why Montana is the treasure state.
Oh.
She's a true American success story.
Thank you very much.
And we are honored to have you as a guest on the Right Now TV show.
Happy to be here.
We wish you the best of the best.
Thank you. I hope to be back.
We look forward to it.
Okay, good.
Mrs. Casey Pobren, the reigning Mrs. Montana. When will the pageantry? When is the next?
The next competition?
Yes.
Okay. So the next
Where
competition,
the crown would actually be, or the baton, or however you do
I
that.
will be passing the baton, crown, responsibilities, and everything over on June 4th. And actually, you can go to the Mrs. Montana America Facebook page and get all of the event details, and we'll pass them along to you as well. And they're still accepting contestants. So honestly, if you're married and you have a passion for nonprofit organizations, or you want to get more involved with your community, it's been such an inspiration. And I competed in this competition really to see if I still had what it took, to be honest with you.
You're a natural.
Thank you. But after you have children, you really question yourself, and I spend every single day, pushing the kids that I represent to be the very best that they can be. And I think you get to an age as a woman, and you're married, and you're a mom, and you have a business. You're like, can I still do this? And I was so very thankful for the opportunity to represent Montana. This last year, I went to the Mrs. America competition.
Super.
It was in Las
Excellent.
Vegas. I was there for 2 weeks.
Wonderful.
And I was very thankful to get second runner-up in Mrs. America. So and I was so happy.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. It was the first
We are
Mrs.
impressed.
Montana to rank as high. So
In fact, I read that story.
yeah, I was pretty excited. I was pretty excited to be at the national competition and get that honor. And honestly, Natalie from Washington was the one who took home the title of Mrs. America, and I couldn't I couldn't imagine a better woman to take the title. She has 7 children, and she did so well at the Mrs. World competition, and I'm an honor to be her second runner-up, and every married woman in Montana has the opportunity to do the exact same thing. So if you have a love and want to really push yourself, then definitely compete. We would love to have
You know, it's a great, hey, I mean, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
And again, and last but not least, if you would just leave our viewing audience
Sure.
with a final thought from as the reigning queen of Miss Montana and representing Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency.
Well, I can't think of a more important message that I want to leave with all of you, that my platform is body positivity. Within media and the industry that I'm in, and every day, even at junior high and high school, there's always this expectation that everybody thinks that they need to live up to. And it's not about living up to other people's expectations. It's truly being the very best version of you that you can be, regardless of lifestyle, situation, size. You know, you are beautiful just the way that you are, and being confident within that, and just knowing that you have a purpose and you are all destined to making your own dreams come true, and you're in control of that as well.
Wow, I'm stunned. Forgive me, you all, but you know, this is amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you. We are delighted. We are honored, in fact, to have Mrs. Casey Pobren, the illustrious Mrs. Montana, as our special guest at the Right Now TV show, and representing the treasure state of Montana, our great state, and also the Rocky Mountain Entertainment Agency. So you look them up. And again, we want to thank you for coming on our broadcast.
I'm very happy.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
No, I think everything. I think we're good.
I think you
we
nailed it. We rocked it. There you go. Thank you, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Keep up the good work.
I will.
And we got to do this again.
Yeah, definitely. I'll even bring a model on next time. You can interview them.
Super.
Yeah.
I'll hold you to that.
I'm game. Let's do it.
Good evening, and again, welcome to the broadcast. I just want to thank you all for for tuning into our broadcast. We'd like to thank our Mrs. Carly Duncans and from Rima and the reigning queen of Mrs. Montana, Mrs. Casey Pobrin, for appearing as guests on our broadcast. And a few words from our general manager at Missoula Community Media Resource.
Thank you so much, Jose. I'm glad to have this opportunity to thank all the viewers of Right Now TV who supported MCAP for the last 27 years. We just celebrated our 27th anniversary. You're looking at pictures from the event last Friday that included Asaf Adonai on piano, an MCAT appreciation panel that featured Mayor John Engen, thank you very much, County Commissioner Dave Strohmeyer, United Way CEO Susan Patrick Hay, Flagships Nicole Mitchell, Maggie Westaff from the Missoula Public Library. Thanks everyone for coming out and supporting MCAT.
That's Joel Beer, General Manager of MCAT, Missoula's Community Media Resource.